Good evening. Welcome to the film school. I'm Joe,
I'm Chris.
and we're just here to do a quick review of Stan and Ollie, biography of the tail end of the career of Laurel and Hardy, who during the 1930s were the biggest comedy duo in the world. New movie came out at the end of December. We just checked it out this last weekend, and yeah, good movie.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I thought the performances were awesome.
Yeah. I forget the director's name. I should know this, but it's just
John S. Baird, I guess is his name. I'm not.
yeah. He did. This is his third film. He's an English filmmaker. He did the films Cass and Filth. Remember Filth with James McAvoy?
Oh, Filth, yeah.
Yeah, it's a filthy movie.
It was an interesting movie, actually.
It lives up to its name. Both Cass and Filth. Cass is a true story, and Filth are definitely not family movies. Not necessarily that Stan and Ollie is, but it is kind of interesting that it is PG. It's
right.
like a total reversal. But what can I say? Like, I'm not a huge Laurel and Hardy fan. I'm familiar with them. There's probably a lot of young people out there who aren't. But John C. Reilly and Steve Coogan nailed it in their performances, I think.
Yeah, they were great together, I thought. They cast it perfectly. John C. Reilly and they made him look perfectly with his prosthetics and everything.
Yeah.
I thought it was great.
Yeah, the prosthetics in this. I've seen some films that have had some really bad makeup jobs, but this was so impressive. I don't think they used any CG on that. I think it was all practical application. And I know at times I kept looking to see if there was any, could I see the lines and the change in the makeup? And it just, nope, it was flawless.
The production design was actually really impressive, too.
Yeah.
It made it look like, the 40s, the 50s.
Oh, yeah.
Sure.
Definitely the costuming, the locations, because they filmed on in the areas that they well, not all of the areas, but a lot of the places where they actually were going on their tour. So I mean, basically, the film is Laurel and Hardy in their declining years are trying to raise funds to do an adaptation of Robin Hood, a comedic adaptation of Robin Hood, but they are doing basically like an English kind of traveling road show while they're waiting for this producer to come through. And so they travel throughout most of England and Ireland and, end up judging beauty shows and things, doing publicity stunts like pretending to be crossing guards and things like that. And they actually filmed in a lot of those locations. Like they did film exteriors at the Savoy and stuff like that, the hotel that they stay in. Because at first there's almost no word that they're even coming to England, so they're playing at these rinky-dink music halls and staying at these really kind of dumpy hotels, at least by their standards. And then, yeah, by the end, it starts to get bigger and bigger. And it was very, very well shot, too. Do you know who the cinematographer was on that?
No, I'm not sure. I don't recall. I don't think it's anybody well known, but
no, it's probably the same guy who shot Filth. I don't know. We'll have to look into that. But yeah, I was really impressed. The music, the cinematography. I think they only had one handheld shot in the entire thing, and so I kind of had that classic old Hollywood style of framing a shot and using the camera.
They actually framed a shot. It's amazing.
Doesn't happen a lot these days. It seems to happen with independent films. And I got to be honest, I think the only reason why this even played in theaters in the States is because it's a BBC co-production. I mean, if it had been made independently here, or even with the studio, it probably would have gone to Netflix.
Right.
Because it seems like
seems like everybody's turning to Netflix, but Netflix is willing to take the risk that Hollywood just is all about these big blockbuster movies now.
Yeah.
It's pretty unfortunate.
Big event movies. It's sad when when you can't go and see Alphonse Cuarón or the Coen Brothers or the upcoming Scorsese film or Duncan Jones's movie for now. You can't see him on the big screen. You got to watch him, at home, which is, that's fine, but it's kind of like before the movie there was a message from Robert Redford's daughter, who's a part of the Salt Lake Film Society here in the wonderful state of Utah that we're in. I don't even know if I should have brought that up, but she made that point. She's like, keep films in the theater instead of like watching them at home. But that's not really our choice.
Yeah, it's kind of out of our control, which sucks because I would honestly rather go see the movie in the theater.
Yeah, movies were made to be seen in theaters, so But kind of a genteel story. Kind of plays it by. It does play it safe. It plays it kind of, like you expect a lot of these biops to be, kind of slightly predictable, but I feel like it just everything was carried by John C. Reilly and Steve Coogan's performances. I know enough about Laurel and Hardy and their mannerisms and the way they talk to know that after a while it was kind of that man on the moon effect. You forget you're watching those actors and you think you're watching the people that they're playing, which is just a testament to good acting and good writing and good directing. And I really enjoyed this movie.
Yeah, no, it was great.
I'm definitely going to be picking it up on physical media.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I would definitely highly recommend it.
There were a lot of movies that came out this last year, 2018, that were based on true stories, and I think a lot of them were. I mean, they look good, but I think some of them were going for Oscar bait. What do you think?
Yeah.
Still kind of the trend in Hollywood.
Right. I'm surprised this one didn't get any.
Yeah, it actually kind of sailed under the radar here in this country for some reason. I mean, it's not playing. It's definitely not a megaplex kind of movie. So I don't even think the Cinemark theaters are showing it in their Cine Arts category, because I haven't seen it in any of the local Cinemark theater chains or the megaplexes or whatever. So, which is a shame because it is a good movie. However, I will say that it was kind of odd that we were the youngest people in the theater.
That's true,
and we're not that young, so it's like it was. Yeah, I definitely could have taken my mom to see it, but I don't care. I loved it. It was so much fun. And I know that Steve Coogan had a role in that Holmes and Watson movie that John C. Reilly did with Will Ferrell that I think tanked big time.
Yeah.
I think it was pulled after a couple weeks.
Yeah, it didn't do well at all, but,
Probably because they put the best jokes in the trailer, I'm guessing. I didn't see it. So I don't know. You tell me. You comment below. Was Holmes and Watson worth watching? Was it funny? But yeah, I usually do a 4-star rating between 1 and 4 stars because thumbs are trademarked and we can't use that. So if I have to give this film a rating, I'm actually going to give it a 4-star rating. I think for a biop, a Hollywood biop, I think it's one of the better ones that I've seen. It's not very cynical. Which it's very charming. Well, what do you think?
Yeah, no, I give it 4 stars. It doesn't delve deep into their lives,
right?
But I don't think they were going for that. I think they were just kind of going for their kind of last time in Hollywood. Really, they're just
yeah, the decline of their
career basically. And I thought it worked well. I mean.
Yeah, those two definitely have a chemistry. And the supporting cast was really good. Danny Huston. Why is her name slipping from me? Moaning Myrtle?
Oh, Shirley Henderson.
Shirley Henderson. Yeah, I loved from Trainspotting and T2 Trainspotting, and she's been on Doctor Who, and she did a really good job with an American accent. I always find it interesting when, cast somebody from another country to play an American. It's always interesting to see how they do the accent, and I think she nailed it. And I was trying to place the gal, and Shirley Henderson played Oliver Hardy's wife, and I'm trying to think of the actress who played the Russian wife of Stan Laurel, and I looked her up, but I'm not familiar with anything that she's done, so my bad.
I mean, she looks familiar, but yeah, I can't tell you. No, I need to. Sorry, I guess I need to do more.
We need to do more research.
Yeah.
Well, look, if you're just looking for a good Hollywood biop of kind of a feel-good movie, kind of a comedy drama, you want to get away from, scale back a little bit from some effects heavy movies and explosions and things like that. I highly recommend this film. I think it's an overlooked gem from the tail end of 2018, and it's kind of sad that it's one of the first movies I've seen at the beginning of 2019 because I feel like I should have seen this 2 months ago. But that's okay. We got plenty of new movies to get caught up on that we can talk about here. So, anything else you wanna?
Oh, that sums it up. I highly recommend it.
Well, thank you for joining us, and we hope you come back and watch some more. Let us know any cool movie ideas, like any films you might want us to talk about, because we're open to talking about older movies, new movies that are in the theater, things like that. And please like and subscribe, and we appreciate any support. And thanks for tuning in. Have a good night.